Hey guys, welcome back to Gretchen's Bakery. Do I have a treat for you? The recreation of my famous New Jersey style crumb bun. Who here is familiar with the crumb bun? Well, those who are know the deal. Tons of streusely crumbs piled on top of a delicate yeast bun. This time with blueberries running through the center. You are going to flip when you taste these, so check it out. For the bun dough, you will need flour, vegan butter, flax meal, any milk alternative of your choice, salt, dry yeast, and granulated sugar. First, sprinkle the yeast over the warm milk and let it stand for about 5 minutes just to prove that it's alive, and it will look a bit frothy to let you know that it is. Next, get the hot water combined with the flax meal and let that stand for about 5 minutes as well. Next, get the flour, salt, and sugar together in a mixer bowl and give it a good stir. Then add the softened butter, the flax paste, and the milk yeast mixture. Get it mixing on low speed to incorporate, and you may need to give those stand mixers with the dough hook attachment some help at first. And you can, of course, do this entire recipe by hand, just like the good old days, but it will take a lot of elbow grease to develop that dough. Not unheard of, just a lot of work. Once it all comes together, let it mix on low to medium speed for about 5 minutes. If the dough looks sticky, meaning it's sticking to your fingers like it is not doing here, you can add a tablespoon or two of flour to make it all come together a bit more. But since mine is not doing that, I'm going to let it go. Mix for a total of about 8 minutes, then turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it by hand about 20 to 30 more times. This will give you a smooth, pliable dough, but be sure not to add too much flour, that it will become tough and unworkable. It is almost best to err on the side of not enough flour. It is just way more forgiving that way. Place the dough into a lightly oiled bowl and cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for about an hour at room temperature in a warm, draft-free spot to double in size. Meanwhile, prepare the streusel topping, and you will need brown sugar and granulated sugar, flour, salt, cinnamon, and vegan butter. I am using the same bowl that I mixed the dough, so there's really no need to wash in between. And get both sugars creaming with the vegan butter on medium to high speed for about 2 minutes. Add the cinnamon and the salt. And then add the flour all at once. Mix it just until it's combined, and it should still be crumbly. Get it to the refrigerator since we don't need it right away. But once the dough has doubled in size, turn it out onto a floured work surface and gently press out those gases. Roll it to a rectangle shape that is the same size as the 9 by 13 inch pan that we are going to use. The pan should also be greased, but no parchment paper. Place the dough inside and stretch it to fit evenly. Take a fork and poke holes all over the dough. This is to allow steam to escape, but also to prevent a lot of rising of the dough. The characteristic charm of the crumb bun is that the bun is way less than the crumb topping. Now, as I mentioned, I am using blueberry filling for my buns this time, but I have used all different kinds of fillings: cheese, cherry, chocolate chips, apple, you name it. It probably works great with crumb buns. The key is just to not use too much, so try not to go too heavy-handed or your buns will never bake through. There's nothing worse than a soggy, doughy bun under all that crumb. Now, all that's left is to pile on that crumb topping, distribute it evenly, and be sure to break up any large pieces. Just be sure not to press it down too compact. You do want to be sure that it remains airy and fluffy so that it bakes light and not compressed and heavy. Get it to a preheated oven and it will bake for over an hour. The best way to know if it is done is to check the crumb topping, make sure that it's not doughy and raw looking. Let them cool slightly before cutting. I am definitely still in bakery mode from when I owned my bakery, and the crumb buns were the size of bricks. A dusting of powdered sugar, and you have yourself a buttery, cinnamony, streusely bun that will send you out of this world. I do hope you will try them, so be sure to head over to GretchensVeganBakery.com to grab the recipe. If you liked this video, don't forget to give me a like and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I do want to give a special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon for continued support. You guys are never forgotten, as I see you in there supporting me every day. I do have some new supporters in PayPal that deserve a shout, and if you think you can help support me at Gretchen's Bakery for as little as $1 a month, click the link below to find out how. Alright, thanks everyone for watching my videos and for visiting me daily on my blog. It means the world that you guys are here with me when there's so many other baking YouTubers that you can be watching. Alright guys, thanks again. I'll see you soon. Until then, happy baking. Keep it sweet.